morning. Welcome to Viking Mountain Ranch. Well, it's morning on the farm and it's time to make the calves formula. I thought it would be a good idea to show you what happens on the farm every morning. So we have the 2 bottle fed calves, and we have to make bottles a couple times a day to feed them. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that because that's really important. There's a misconception about bottle calves. People say that they don't usually do well or thrive. And there's a way around that. So, as you know, we do organic calves, organic animals. We don't add antibiotics, anything, or vaccines or anything like that. We rely on nature, the way it's always been, the way it's meant to be. So I make a formula for them, and I use a lot of different things. So number 1, a standard calf replacer, non-medicated of course. And this one I've added some ManaPro colostrum. It has immunoglobulins in it. And so what immunoglobulins are, when a calf in the natural world is born and allowed to nurse from the mother, it's going to get all of these colostrum immunoglobulins during the first, say, 48 hours. Really, technically up to 12 days, there's some in there. But the bulk of it comes in first. And what immunoglobulins are, immunoglobulins is a broad spectrum term that covers a big category. There's IgG, IgA, there's secretory, there's subgroups of these IgGs. All mammals produce immunoglobulins in the colostrum, and they're all specific to that actual organism. So we have what's known as a microbiome in our intestinal tract and throughout our body. And what a microbiome is, it's a combination of certain bacterial strains that actually function in our body and control every single bodily function we have. So for example, the bulk of our microbiome is in our gut flora. The gut flora comprises, they say, 70 to 90% of our immune system. So when a baby receives those first immunoglobulins from the mother, then the immune system is going to start to develop. Now everything that the mother, grandmother, the great-grandmother, and so forth backwards has come in contact with or become immune to, that memory is stored in immunoglobulins. Okay, so it's passed on to the offspring. So important. When the baby comes through the birth canal of the mother, more flora that's lining the birth canal is going to be put into the baby. It's going into the ears, the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, and any orifice that happens to pass by. So it's inoculated naturally with these immunoglobulins and these flora. So immunoglobulins, some of the major functions, it goes deep, deep, deep. But basically, in a nutshell, these immunoglobulins are going to train and teach the baby what's good for it, microbial, and what's bad. So it's going to have the memory, like I say, of all these certain diseases and ailments. So now the better the calf's chances are when they receive these immunoglobulins. Now our calves, they did receive all of the immunoglobulins. They were with the mother for 3 weeks, which is great, but now it's transitioned into formula. So my formula, we've added colostrum. Now, what we do, and I also add, this is a probiotic formula for neonatal calves, which mean newborn. So I put in warm water first, a little bit of warm water, and then it's going to get, I feed them 3 times a day. So the bottles get 9 to 10 scoops of this calf replacer with added powdered colostrum. Okay. And then I measure out, it's black because it contains a little bit of charcoal paste, which helps absorb toxins. So a little bit in there. Okay. A little bit for that one. Alrighty. And we have to mix it. because it gets powder balls in it. Now this is comprised of whey protein base, cow protein base, a little bit of goat milk, because goat milk, like human milk, is the universal milk. The proteins are smaller and easier to digest. Another thing about immunoglobulins, so like I was saying, our body's microbiome is supposed to be comprised of all these trillions and trillions and countless strains that live in all of our body organs. So for example, the ones that live in the lungs and the respiratory tract, those are different microflora than what lives in the kidneys or bladder. So for example, the ones that live in the lungs and the respiratory tract and the nasal passages and the sinuses, they help fight, say, airborne viruses, bacteria, mold, yeast, fungus, those kind of things that we may be breathing in. So just like in humans, the healthier our microbiome is, the healthier we are. So antibiotics destroy the microbiome. Antibiotics in food, and a lot of times people say, well, I haven't taken antibiotics, but have you eaten not organic dairy, meat, or eggs? Then you have taken antibiotics. So every time you eat restaurant food, or every time you eat, say, regular grocery store food, you're getting antibiotic residue that's going to kill your microbiome, thus making your immune system weaker. So it takes years to build your microbiome. I've been working on my microbiome for about 21 years. Last time I ingested any antibiotics. So it's so important, and it does make a huge, huge difference. So another thing is, environmental stressors. So this calf replacer, I've added a little bit of what's known as red cell. Red cell is a vitamin mineral supplement that contains very absorbable natural vitamins, especially B complex, and the animal can get stressed, especially these little calves who's missing their mom. You know, we've only had them for a week, and so no doubt they're looking for her. And we can, a lot of times when an animal loses the mother or the mother loses the baby, she will call for it, and you can hear it miles away. There's a farm that's actually a couple of miles away, and these cows, you can hear them sometimes bellowing really loud across the mountains, and it kind of sounds like a dinosaur in the distance, but they're pretty loud. And so these little guys, no doubt they're still missing their mother, so they need their vitamins, they need their minerals. I give them a mineral salt block for the cows to lick, and they call it a cow lick, and you can get that in any pet store or a live feed store. So, all right, so let's put on the nipples. These are standard calf replacer nipples. Turn them inside out, like this. Put them on, and there's no leak. All right, so let's go on outside. Good morning. So we have names for the calves. So this one here, his name is Jed from Beverly Hillbillies, Jed Clampett. Hi, Jed. And this one's Gandalf. Hi, Gandalf. You guys hungry? You ready to eat your bottle, huh? Okay. boys. All right. Okay. Stay. Okay. So the reason you have to hold the bottles down so low, we're supposed to be simulating the mom. Okay, so something I learned that I did not know. So if you feed a calf with the bottle up high, it goes into their lungs, makes them choke. So calves have this little groove that's supposed to, if the mom's teat is real low and they have to work and bend their head up, it goes right down this little groove into one of their chambers of their stomach. So I learned that. Good morning, guys. All right, they're actually eating hay now and grass, so that's a good thing, and they're 3 weeks old now. So next thing we do is feed the goats. So this is their goat feed. Alrighty. Good morning. How are ya? Morning, Fig. Good morning, Mr. Newton. How are you, boy? Aw. Do you mind? Alright, everybody's doing good. Baby Inky, come here. There you are. What you doing? Come over here. Come here, little boy. Oh, he's trying to eat out of Chai's bowl. There you are. So he's starting to eat seeds and hay and everything else. Good morning. This is their protective fence that now I can sleep because they have protection. No coyotes can get in or anything like that. So everybody's been fed. How are you? Come here. Good little boy. Alrighty. So everybody's been fed. Everybody's happy. Mr. Fig. There you are. Not gonna go outside today. Alright. Well, I have to walk them from this barn right down there to the gate, if you can see it. And then they have that whole pasture to themselves. Alright, so after you feed them, you give them the actual pellets, and then everyone's going to need water. And goats are funny about water. They won't touch water that smells funny or has any debris in it. So I have my water on these hooks and these buckets like this. And they get fresh water morning and night. They'll actually dehydrate themselves if there's one piece of something floating in their water bucket. They won't drink it. Just be thirsty. But goats are actually clean animals. They don't like anything that's touched the ground. Like they won't eat hay off the ground. And their buckets have to be washed out. They're so particular. Cows, they'll eat hay off the ground. They'll eat wet hay. All of that. But goats, no, they're real particular. And they don't like If they smell it and it's got dirt on it, nope, they won't have it. The cows over there eating their hay. I got your water. I'm coming. So everyone's got their own bucket. So morning and night they get fresh water. Got to put hay up in these things I built for the hay, so that it doesn't touch the ground. And then I put a raised water for Chai since she has a little baby, and I don't want him to fall in the water when he was smaller because they could drown. Hey girl. So everybody needs give them some. They get their specialty hay in the morning. Good. Everybody gets a big piece of it. I'm just giving them a little taste right now. Good. All right, here's yours. Ready for more? For Mr. Big. We'll do it with one hand. Here we go. Here, Chai. Yours. Curry. There you go. Okay. Here, coconut. Coke. Here you go. Cheers. Go do some more. There you go. There you go. Chickens are getting big. They're outgrown their their little pen. It's time for them to move outside. All hens except, can you tell the rooster? His red cone right there. There, yeah, I was talking about you. There you are, Mr. Rooster. His name is Mr. Rooster. And then all the rest are hens. Yep. And roosters are known to be mean. You know, a lot of people say roosters are mean. So I make it a point every day open this pen here. So every day to video him, or not to video him. So every day I hold Mr. Rooster. Handle him in that way he's not going to be a mean chicken and try to bite you all the time. Rooster. Good boy. Good rooster. Alright. And I give him bites in my hamburger. Chickens are carnivores. By nature. They're pretty much omnivores, but they're very carnivorous, and so they love to eat meat. And so to make them friendly, I hand feed them hamburger. Alright guys. Here's the nursery. They're inside the house, so oops, sorry. Here we go. So we have a couple ducks. These are Peking ducks. And then we have little tiny babies. These guys are 3 days old. Little chicken. Oop, yep, there you are. And then we have the other ones are about a week old, the bigger ones. So they're all doing well.